Wavesound Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of Love on the Air by Ash London, narrated by Jo Van Ness. 280, of course. Chapter 1. Up until the age of 29 and a half, if I wanted something, I usually got it. Not because I was pushy or mean or overbearing. I had simply made a habit of giving in to every single one of my urges and desires without a second thought. From pastries to Balenciaga boots, I said yes to myself without hesitation or regret. Of course, underneath the designer clothes and delicious lunches and scarily extensive day spa schedule, there was a reason for this life of hedonism, and naturally, it stemmed from my childhood, blah, blah, blah. But despite my understanding of why certain unfortunate, read traumatic events in my early years made me this way, I never had the desire to change. After all, I was yet to find a single one of life's disappointments that could not quickly be eradicated with something new and shiny. Until I found myself falling out of a taxi and sobbing in my Auntie May's front yard at midnight, heartbroken and homeless. Not even the limited edition bright pink Chanel dad sandals I purchased later that week could pick up my spirits. In fact, at one point, I found myself wondering if I'd overpaid for them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was how I knew that shit was getting real. While not everyone can simply quit their job, press eject on life and start over, I knew I could and probably would, because when I wanted to do something, I usually did it. And that is how I found myself here, on a desert island 5,000 kilometers away from home, with a raging hangover and a killer tan. Eyes still closed, I reached down and rummaged through the sea of clothes and towels on the floor. The room smelled like a mix of herbal mosquito repellent and coconut sunscreen. My fingers finally hit a familiar hard spot in the pocket of my favorite Isabel Marant shorts, which were now looking a little worse for wear. It was a shame DHL didn't do express courier services to tiny islands in the middle of the Philippines. If I were back home, I could have had a new pair on the doorstep by the weekend. Pulling my iPhone close to my face, I tapped the screen, propelling several bits of sand back into my eyes and mouth, causing me to cough, splutter, and drop an F-bomb. It had no battery left. My God, who was I anymore? 2 months ago, a phone devoid of battery would have signified a life devoid.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?